Yes. All right, so we're going to work our way through each problem here. Make sure that at the beginning of your lab, so if everyone has this pulled up here, make sure you have your multi-line comment in there. Okay, you're not going to touch this main class right here or the main method. We're going to leave that the same. You can go ahead and get rid of this line if you haven't already. And I'm going to go do a line comment here and do problem 1. So I want to correctly always put some comments in here. I'm for the funs and giggles. I'm going to go ahead and just put problem 2. That way I always just have it nice and spaced out. Problem 3. And let's do problem 4. All right, I can come back up to problem 1. Let's just read what it says real quick. Make sure your program runs properly in repel. When you are done, go ahead and submit the repel. Oh, yeah, that's not it. Okay, so here we go. Create a program that stores the amount of people and pets where you live as an integer. So let's first do that. So I'm going to go, I need to declare first. So I'm going to go integer people. We always want to name it kind of what it's doing. So in my house, there is 5 people. And integer pets. And I'm going to save that as I have 4 pets. We have 3 dogs and a cat. Okay, so I got those. I declared and initialized all together. So I have those right there. The next thing that it says is, then use the math operator to calculate the amount of fingers, the amount of eyes, and legs. So I'm going to start with fingers. With fingers, I'm only going to use people. So I'm going to do a System.out.println. There are, and I'm going to put a space and my quotes plus, and then I'm going to do people times 10 plus quotes here, fingers in my house, period. Now, if I were to run this, I got a space right here. There's no space right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a space before fingers so it's a little spaced out. Now, this is what do we call this? People times 10? It's called a, starts with an E. Called an expression, okay? So this is a math expression here, and it's going to go ahead and do that math operation before it does. If it can do it, it will. If it can't, and then it's going to leave it. So I'll go ahead and run this, make sure this works. Does this work? No. I forgot my semicolon. Let's pretend I did that on purpose.
Always a semicolon.
Yeah. Okay, and then so there are 50 fingers in my house. Now I'm going to do the same thing with eyes. Okay, so another System.out.println. Now with eyes, I have to account for people and pets. So there are, okay, let's do some math here. I add my plus sign. What do we call that plus sign, by the way? Who knows how to pronounce that? Concatenation, whatever that is. Concatenation. I don't know. Whatever that is. All right. So I know that it's my people plus pets times 2. So if I put people plus pets times 2, this is not going to give me my answer. Because what's going to happen here is it does order of operations. It's going to do pets times 2, and then it's going to add it to people. I don't want that. So I'm going to put parentheses to make this its own expression right here. People plus pets, then times it by 2, and then plus space eyes in my house. There, and my quote, put a semicolon, get rid of this bad boy that's trying to sneak in there. Okay, and let's go ahead and run, make sure it works. If it's correct, right, I got a total of 9, so that should give me, 18? And there we go. There are 18 eyes in my house. Kind of sounds creepy when you say it like that, right? It's a weird thing to say. Okay, that's it for question 1. There's a couple more things you're going to do. It's the same of the same, so I really don't feel the need to do it. Does anyone have any questions about this? Does that make sense how to do these? Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, let's look at question 2. Write a program for your math class. Create a variable for length and width. Set the 30. This really should have been question 1. It's pretty straightforward here. So length and width. So question 2 here. Again, I'm going to go integer length. I'm just going to do len for length. And what is this? 20, whatever it was. Integer width is equal to 40. So really this is just setting the thing. So I can go ahead and create an integer area. So I'm going to do area like this. And I'm going to do length times width. Perimeter I'll do all as one to show you how the 2 ways you can do that. Okay? Area. Okay, so now I can go ahead and just do a System.out.println right here. And then I'm going to do quotes. So I'm doing a string literal. The area of a comma plus length. So I'm saying whatever number that is plus. And then I don't want them to add together. How do I do this? I could do parentheses, absolutely. I'm just going to throw in the word by to make it a little easier. So the area of a, and this will say 20 by 40. And then I'll put width right here. Width plus is, and then I'm going to end this plus area. So this is just a lot of, same thing here. And semicolon. I noticed that Repel is working much faster today. I was online and in this group, and someone's like, "Man, it's running so slow." And there's like someone from Repel on the account, like, "No, we just had some issues. It's working fine now. No one leave." I like did a comment like, "I feel like they're doing it on purpose." He's like, "No, I promise we're not." I was afraid they were like gonna ban my account after that though. All right. So obviously I can put a space right here and even up, but that's the idea here. Now I can also do it inside of it. So this is area. I can do perimeter as well. Remember, perimeter is just the 4 sides added together. So instead of making my own area right here, I can just do it all at once. System.out.println, and then do the perimeter and just do it all together. I could put it of length and width. I'm just going to save some time here. Plus, and do length times 2 plus width times 2, and that will go ahead and give me my perimeter there. So I don't actually have to create an area variable. I can just do it inside my print. Now it won't be saved, but that's okay. Either way, it's fine. No big deal. Run it. Make sure we got no errors. And bada boom, bada bing. That is question 2 taken care of. Okay, so we're just getting the ideas, making sure we all understand this. Okay, all right. A little interesting thing here. This did 40 by 80, right? This is just, this didn't evaluate the whole expression. This just did 2 of the things here. So in order to do this, let's put parentheses around this to tell it to do the whole thing, to make sure that takes care of it. So it stopped seeing it as an expression. It just saw it as 2 different things, the 40 and the 80. So if I go ahead and run that, now I get 120, and that's what I need. Okay. Question 3. Save a double variable named money and make it equal to 273. And convert to cents. Create a variable for quarter, dime, nickel, and penny. Use the math algorithm to determine the most amount of each coin you could and how much change you would have left over. Okay, so I'm just going to do one of these just to show you. So I'm going to go money, or declare it first. So integer money is equal to 273. Okay. I want it like this because then I can just use whole numbers for my quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. All right. There's a way to do it, but I think this is by far the easiest way. So I would go integer. I'm going to go ahead and declare a quarter here. Would you go ahead and get that door for me there? Thank you, man. All right, 25. Okay. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to say the most amount of quarters is what is divisible evenly. Well, since they're both integers, I'm not going to get a remainder. It's going to tell me what it is evenly divided into. So all I have to do this is System.out.println. You can get a total of, and now I'm going to go ahead and express this, plus, let me just move this over so it's a little easier to see. I'm going to take money, whoa, I'm in my terminal. Money divided by quarter. And so that's an integer divided by an integer, which means it will not get me any remainder. Remember, when I do the expression of an integer and an integer, it always ends up as an integer. So in this case, that should give me a total of 10. So let's say 10, and then I want to do a plus sign here. Quarters with, and my quotes, do a plus sign, and then I'm going to do money modulus, because this tells me how much my remainder is. Quarter, right here. Okay, and then I do a plus sign, quotes, space right there, pennies left over. I'm just throwing this all together. So I'm saying you can get a total of this many, because I'm using integer, and then getting that remainder, and that's how many pennies would be left over. Let me go ahead and run that. And that should do it all in the same one. And then really all I got to do, so if I move this over here, right, I can get 10 quarters with 23 pennies left over. That's 250 plus 23, that's 273. Now really, the way I do the rest of these is I just add dime, nickel, and penny, and I do the exact same thing, okay? So it's just a repetitive over again, but I'm getting the same idea here and using integers right there. It makes it a little bit easier. Any questions on that one? So that's number 3. Yeah, I think I saw a lot of people, and a lot of people were trying to overcomplicate that. And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but that was made that a little more complicated than it needed to be. Yeah. I'm still finding errors in my program, and I don't really know. Okay, I'll go over that with you. Let me finish going over this, and then I'll go over that individual there. Yeah, no problem. All right, last problem. Follow the comments below to write the program that computes some statistics. Go over this right here. So declare 3 intervals for grades. Here, I'm just going to copy and paste this. You could have done the same thing here. Copy paste. I'm going to put all these comments under problem 4. We can knock this out real quick. Okay, and that's okay if there's all this stuff here. Not a big deal. I'm just going to make sure my tab's in the right spot. So right there looks about right. Declare 3 intervals for grades. So I'm going to go integer grade 1. No space. Grade 1 equals 10, comma. Grade 2, remember, I can put them declare and initialize on the same one, so I'm going to save myself some time here. Grade 2 is equal to 20, comma, and grade 3 is equal to 30, semicolon. Okay, declare an integer variable for the sum of the grades. So I'm just declaring it. It doesn't want me to actually figure out the sum yet. So integer sum, done. Declare a double variable for the average. So double average, done. Write a formula to calculate the sum of the 3 grades. Okay. Sum equals grade 1 plus grade 2 plus grade 3. Done. Write a formula to calculate the average of the 3 grades. Okay, well, average is the sum divided by the amount. In this case, that's 3. So average equals sum divided by 3. Done. Print out the average. Okay. System.out.println. If you're ever asked the question, should I do a print or print line? Print line is always the standard. Okay. You can use print, but then if you're not careful, you start getting things stacking in the same line and it gets confusing. So if you're ever unsure, print line's the default. Put average right here. Now at this point, I've typed a lot of things. I should probably run this before I make sure I don't have any errors before I keep going. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and see. Okay. I did not get an error. Why? Yeah, it's a good question. Should I cast sum to double? Because sum is saved as a what? Integer right here. Okay. Doubles, average is a double. Well, when I take the average, which should be a double, sum divided by 3, right here, I get 20. Now, this operation, this is bad. I should change it to help illuminate this because the average actually is 20. I'm going to change this to 23, though. Should my average be 20? No, not if I change that to 23. What am I going to get, though? Yeah, I'm still going to get, if I am thinking of this correctly, we still got 5 minutes here. Okay, I'm getting 21. That's not the true average. That is not the true average. It just cut off anything. So if I don't cast this into a double first, the sum, it's treating this as an integer operation and then saving it as a double. So if I want the true one, you're right. What I should do here to get a more accurate number, I should put this as a double right here. So that's going to apply just to sum, not to 3. But that's okay. I only need to apply it to 1 because a double with an integer gives me a double. Now I should get more of an accurate number here. Instead of 21, I should get whatever this is. I don't know. Oh, I still get 21. That seems a little off, unless it's exactly 21. But that seems unlikely. No, that won't change it. Stop that. All right. Let's go. Is that exactly? Ah, son of a gun. Okay, 24. Okay, so that fixes it. So putting the double there, now let me prove it to you by taking the double away. Of course it does, because it's 3. I'm an idiot. Now this should just save it as 21, and it does. Okay, so what happens is if I put double here, I'll get the actual average. If I have it without the double here, it's doing the operation and then saving that. So that's why I get 21.0. It's just saving it afterwards. And that is very tedious kind of right there what it's the 2. All right. All right. So that's the average there. I'll just leave it here for right now. Declare a double variable and calculate the variance. So the variance is a double. So double variance equals, and what is this? This is the math dot square root. No, it's not square root yet, is it? You put in that equation there. So it is, let's see, grade 1 minus the average, right, times, and I'm just going to do it by itself to get it squared instead of doing the math operator, minus average, so that's that squared, plus, and then I do the same thing here, grade 2 times, or sorry, minus average times grade 2, so that way I get squared, minus average, plus, same thing, grade 3, minus average. I'm now wishing I made average just AVE times grade 3 minus average. Okay, so that's each of those squared added together. That's my variance. Semicolon right there. Declare a double to get their standard deviation. So in this case, I can use the square root operator. So double, and I'm going to call this standard deviation STD. STD. Different than the other one. They don't even call those STDs anymore, do they, though? STI, yeah. All right, and then this is math dot square root. So this was in the PowerPoint, tell you how to do this. And then I just put in the variance in here. Bada boom, bada bing. Done. And that should give me those two, and I just print them out. So I go System.out.println, and I go variance, semicolon, System.out.println, and STD, standard deviation. Okay, let's make sure it works. Bada boom, bada bing. No errors, and there we go. Yeah.
Is there a standard deviation method in the math class or no?
Probably. I don't know off the top of my head, but I would assume there would be. Yeah. You can always find out by going math dot, and then it should pop up. Usually it does. All right. We'll continue on that. I'll see you guys after lunch.